Arsenal through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Also joined, of course, by Chelsea. Spurs have got themselves through as well. We want to hear from you, Gooners, ahead of your massive, massive clash with Liverpool this forthcoming weekend. Guendouzi is going to be missing. How has this game prepared you for that mammoth tie against arguably the best team in the Premier League right now? We want to hear from you on 0203 606 0315, and make sure, whatever platform you're watching on, you smash that like button.
Get all your football news as it breaks with Football Flash.
Welcome back to FanPark Live, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joined by two of our regulars, of course, Mr. Adam Charles and Have Hope. We've had some heated debates off camera tonight. I'm looking to Have Hope with a whole new light. It was.
I actually like donuts, actually, so Krispy Kremes.
It's you were a donut tonight. You were a donut. You absolutely were a donut tonight. But listen, I'm joined by the two boys in the studio. Arsenal have just scraped past Blackpool, would you say?
Should have been more at home, Blackpool.
But they got through. They got through to the next round. Gooners, we want to hear from you. The number is in the description below. Make sure you're smashing that like button. And obviously, gentlemen, make sure you don't look at the lens of the camera, the screen on the camera. Look at the lens on the camera. Because Javern tonight, he has got his knickers in a big old twist. And I've seen them. They are pink. They are frilly. They are lacy. And they are twisted. I think he borrowed them from his missus, but he's in a bad mood for some reason. I'm not sure why. But anyway, we want to hear from you Gooners out there. Maybe some Blackpool fans, if any. I've never spoke to a Blackpool fan in my life, so that would be nice. Question here: Tony Mark says, will he miss the game versus Liverpool?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that actually. Missing Guendouzi for the next game against Liverpool. How big of a miss is that young man and his afro going to be?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a miss because of his energy, and he does have a good pass in the final third. I think it's probably good for him, and an honest Arsenal fan will say that it's good that he doesn't play because his discipline, lack of positioning sometimes is a bit awry. But yeah, I think energy-wise, considering Liverpool's pressing and how end-to-end the game could be, I think will be missed.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't think Arsenal would have actually even started him, really. I think he'd have been a guy to bring on. And I think in a game like this, he could be useful, but this is going to be one of Arsenal's toughest games. So would you really, like, if, let's say, they lost to Torreira, that would be huge.
Yeah.
Because the midfield battle is going to be key for them trying to, like, win, to get transitions in midfield. And I think Torreira is going to be key for that, winning the ball and actually popping the ball off. So for Guendouzi, who looks pretty good, up against what is still a very good midfield of what Liverpool have, I think it would have been a pretty tough game for him. So I don't think it is that big of a miss for him. But again, it would have been great for his experience playing in such a tough game against the Liverpool side if he had played. So
yeah, I get that. It's he looked. I mean, he always gutted to get sent off in a game. You never want to get yourself sent off. But he looked heavily frustrated with the fact that he was going to miss that. I think he knew as soon as he saw that red card. I think his thought was more. The game against Liverpool, because whether he started or came on as a substitute, the likelihood he was going to feature, as you say, big game. That's what youngsters want to be involved with. Just an update on the other games tonight. Of course, Arsenal win 2-1 against Blackpool. Okay. Close game at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 3, Derby 2. 2 own goals from Derby on the night. West Ham getting slapped 3-1 at home by Tottenham. And Middlesbrough are currently game still going and currently beating Crystal Palace 1-0. So all the big clubs currently going through, barring Crystal Palace, or bigger clubs going through. Llorente scored for Spurs. I didn't even know he was still there. Llorente scored. 2 goals for Son.
Is he better than Morata? Is he better than Morata?
Llorente.
Damn. I mean, that's tough. Those are two genuine bricks. That's tough, man.
Llorente's a good player, you know. I know Llorente personally, so I'm not going to say nothing negative about the geezer.
But he's right now, I'd take Llorente over Morata right now, yeah.
Of course you would, absolutely. We got any calls lined up, Javern?
No.
Yeah, we'll do some Arsenal calls.
Actually, the Guendouzi, was that a pass or a cross?
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
I'm not enabling you.
My name's Kieran. How you guys doing?
Hey, Kieran, how you doing, mate?
Not bad.
Good,
you
good.
Just caught me in the custard cream midway.
Oh.
Well, you. Oh, okay. Well,
is that literal or figurative?
Right, Sorry about that.
So are you having that with a cup of tea, or what were you having with to accompany the custard cream?
Just having a custard cream.
Cup of tea, mate.
Cup of tea, good. Do you know what? If you just said something like orange juice, honestly, I'd have hung the phone up. So my mate does that. He dips his biscuits in orange juice.
That's bad. Why
no.
just eat the biscuit by itself?
No,
God.
dip it in the
Can't be
tea.
doing that.
You can't be doing that. It never
You
told.
are wrong,
Orange
man.
juice, no.
No, I know it's crazy. I got a friend of mine as well. I got a friend who dips. I swear to you on my life, I see a guy the other day dip a croissant in coffee.
Yeah, I've seen that.
No,
I've seen that
that's
before.
that's
That's
fine,
not
that's
even
fine.
that
No,
wild.
I
That's
saw
not
that.
wild.
I nearly vommed. I was
That's
like,
calm.
nah,
That's
bro.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That ain't. Listen, Kieran, Arsenal win 2-1 tonight. What was your viewpoints on the game?
Bruh.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think giving the youth a chance and the way that the youth are able to play Emery's system well,
Trust me.
I think it's big things for the future. The way that the youth are just coming in looking like the first team players.
Get me.
Yeah, I thought I did well tonight. I wouldn't say sensational or nothing along those lines, but I think it was a decent performance out there against an average side, but good for their development. Absolutely no doubt about that. In terms of the next round, have you got any? Who do you want in the next round? Who do you want to come up against?
I actually do want to come up against Chelsea or one of the big teams
You want to?
because, I don't want us to be playing rubbish teams to get through to the final. I want to have an actual challenge
Wow.
to get to the final.
Man like Kieran. Lovely.
So you didn't want to like build up until the final.
Build up to what?
Build up and just slowly raising, man. Because like if you face Chelsea with Hazard, it's nights out, finished.
Is it? Then we play.
Yeah, but would you rather get knocked out in like the fourth or fifth round by a big team, or like lose to him in the final? I'd much rather go out early to a bigger team
Trust me.
than losing in a final far more
Oh
painful.
no, true.
But you know what? Interesting you said about the youth players tonight. So Czech, Liechtensteiner, Mustafi, Jenkinson, Ramsey, Welbeck and Mkhitaryan all started that game, which is a strong enough spine against Blackpool. See, I think what's good there is that's very different to what you saw from Wenger in many games in the League Cup, where it would almost be 9 youth players with maybe a couple of seniors. I think it's really important to do what Emre did tonight, where he's bled those youngsters in with experience around them, so they're not too exposed. And I think that's why maybe some of the players out there, Guendouzi, we know the talent he's got, Maitland-Niles, etc. But for those players,
Mistake Wenger made last year in the FA Cup, so around played all youth, had no one on the bench, and we went out.
Boom.
exactly. So I think that the mixture tonight from Emre was very, very good indeed. What do you think your chances are of beating Liverpool at the weekend?
It all depends on that first half. Like I was saying on the mass debate on Monday, we have to take our chances in the first half. The teams we've played in the last 12 wins in a row and Palace, we haven't taken our chances in the first half. If we don't take them against Liverpool, they are going to punish us and they will score goals against us in the first half, and we won't have any chance of coming back in the second like we have done against other teams.
Thank you very
Kieran,
much for your call,
that
mate.
is
Appreciate
brilliant.
that, my brother.
That
Thank
is
you very, very
brilliant.
much. Is the capture tool working yet?
No.
Let us know when you're ready. We're gonna talk. Cool. So yeah, positive call there. Arsenal fans feeling happy. I think they got the mixture right tonight, and you've got to have that difference. I mean, let's have a look at some of the other teams that played tonight. So let's look at Chelsea. I don't know what Chelsea's team even was.
I know Willian was on the pitch.
Chelsea fans were angry about Willian.
They
playing.
hate that guy. I don't understand.
I mean, like, Willian is bad. He can be very frustrating.
Yeah,
like,
I would say
just horrible decision making.
Chelsea's team, I wouldn't consider anyone. None of them they're academy players. Other than Loftus-Cheek, who started. Everybody else: Zabacosta, Cahill, Kante, Fabregas, Kovacic, Morata, Willian. They're first team.
He
football
played
players.
Kante against Derby County, bro. Come on, man.
That's who played in that game.
Kante can play every game. He doesn't get tired.
Let's check. This is true. Let's check what West Ham and Spurs are doing tonight. See if they use youth. West Ham. No. Well, Rice started in midfield, but he plays for them in the first team anyway.
That guy, we need to big up.
Spurs, though, I never heard of this goalkeeper.
Who's that?
Gazaniga.
Yeah, he's been playing.
Aurier played at right back. Sanchez at centre back. Walker Peters played.
Left back.
Winks, Wanyama, Ali, Eriksson, Son, Lorente. Again, I wouldn't say that's a youth team.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong.
That's a strong.
team.
Both teams play strong sides. So I think big congratulations for Arsenal tonight.
Thank you.
Playing younger academy type players. I think that's very, very important from their point of view.
So is Emery? How seriously do you think Emery's taking this competition? Or the other thing is like, oh, it's a bonus, or no, I really want to actually just get a trophy down. If I can win a trophy in my first season, you know what, I'm gonna take it. Or it's like, you know what, my focus is top, because again, you have to manage sides, because you can insult Wenger all he wants about playing youth. I think his mindset was that, you know what, I want to give youth a chance, but also give all the guys time to rest. Yeah. So I'll play them in an FA Cup or League Cup. This is for the youth, so my first team can rest.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to say, because we've had this discussion about Liverpool a couple of times. Do you get that first win, no matter how insignificant the trophy is, which then breeds a winning mentality? I don't
confidence.
Really know. Yeah,
you do. Look, listen. If Arsenal finish 4th this year, if they make it into the top 4 and they win the League Cup, they will.
They will.
Okay.
They will.
If they do, let's just keep it if, so we don't overgas them. Right. If they come top 4 and they win the League Cup, that's a better performance for me than, say, being Liverpool and finishing 2nd and winning nothing. Like, you've won, your fans have had a day out at Wembley and they've celebrated a trophy, and you've qualified for that Champions League. I think it's better. Equal, like, again, unless what Liverpool, if they finish 2nd, they're 1 point off of winning the league, then it becomes more debatable. But if they finish 15 points behind Man City at the top, which is conceivable because City are so good and everybody else might start dropping points. And I'm not having a go at Liverpool. I'm just pointing out that winning trophies is the most important thing in football. It's first things, paramount.
My arguments to that would be, even if they finish like 10 or 12 points behind, based on what has happened with Wenger, I think Arsenal fans would say, all right, we didn't win a trophy. This guy in his first season came 2nd, ahead of Liverpool with all the hype that they had, ahead of Chelsea. I think they said, "Oh, that's a crazy achievement to have."
I just want to say, for anybody watching that doesn't know who he supports, he doesn't support Arsenal. He supports Chelsea. I don't want anyone to think that Arsenal are saying we're going to finish 2nd. That's not being put out in the ether by Arsenal fans. I want to make that unequivocally clear right now. Thank you very much.
I get that, but I think if they finish 4th. Just say 4th and win a League Cup from where you were on the Wenger,
no, that's damn good.
It will be the most improved top 6 side in the league this year. You know, it's a bit like when Mourinho first took over at Man United. Although we finished 5th and we had the League Cup, straight away to come in and win the Europa League and the League Cup, and there's progression there, movement.
But on that, I would rather take a slow and steady success as opposed to, what did you say? You came 5th, you won the League Cup, you won the Europa League, and then
and something else. And then it was 3
Community Shield.
No, because he went into
Shield.
And then after that,
I don't count that.
You're like football, and there was a bit of toxicity around the club. I'd rather a slow and steady build up than instant success.
I get that.
And then falling off.
My point is though, is that there was a lot of debate that year because United, I think, finished 5th. But there were 1 or 2 trophies. It was like who had the better season. They're more like other top 4 finishers who won nothing. My point is, if you guys win a trophy and make Champions League, the only team conceivably that are going to have a better season than you in the Premier League are going to be the team that wins it because of where you were at. So I think that it's good steady growth from Liverpool, no doubt about that. What's going on with the capture, Javern? We're ready. Cool. So we're going to move the subject matter on a little bit from this game. Let me know when you started.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to talk about first of all.
Come on.
Aaron Ramsey's told his Arsenal career will definitely end in 2019 in a face-to-face meeting with the club chiefs. This is what the Mirror have said. It goes, the Welsh international's contract expires at the end of the season and an offer for a new one was pulled away. Aaron Ramsey has been told there's no chance of persuading Arsenal's hierarchy to change their mind after the club pulled an offer for a new contract. 27 years of age. Maybe available for a cut price in January. Definitely can leave for free in the summer. I'll come to you first of all, Adam, as an Arsenal fan.
Hello.
Is that mistreating one of your best players of the last 7 to 10 years? Or do you think it's the right decision? He's not worth the £200,000 a week he wants and you can find somebody better and cheaper? Where's your mind at with this?
I don't think the mistreatment has come from not giving him the amount of money that he wants. I think the mistreatment has come from the way he was told and the situation was handled. There's a report on Sky News saying that he was told through his representative that the offer was no longer on the table. The offer to stay was no longer on the table. And I think that's mistreating someone who scored in 2 FA Cup finals for us. That's not doing him service to the role that he's played at the club.
Yeah, I get that.
That being said, I'm not going to lose sleep over Aaron Ramsey leaving. I'm sorry. He's done his job. He's done what he needed to do. I don't think he really. It would be very interesting to see who comes in for him, because right now, what top 6 team does he go to? What top 6 team does he go to and improve? There's not many. He's not improving Chelsea's team. He might improve Manchester United because he's like a Mourinho type player. What? City's? He's not getting in there. Liverpool, maybe for squad depth, but I doubt it. Where's he going? What, Barca?
Tottenham. I mean, no, Tottenham.
Maybe Tottenham.
Could use
But then that's a step down.
No, I mean, basically, you know what I always say? Like, I always use this in my saying, it's never personal, it's always business. Emery is a new coach, and I think that Emery's trying to build something here. And I think for Ramsey, I've always said for Ramsey, he's a really good player who can have an amazing game. But I wouldn't really call him a really highly technical player who can give you like I've never seen Ramsey have an amazing season when this guy had a super amazing season.
That's a lie.
Oh, okay.
That's a lie.
2013-14, that stands out in my mind. I know that's many years ago, 5 years ago now, but that stands out in my mind hugely. I suppose it this way. You know,
but just very quick, for me, I just think that, again, like from when we watch, I don't want to say they're not really going to lose much. And remember, it's like, yeah, he's going. Who's Emery going to bring in? There are a lot of very good players in the Bundesliga and the Serie A as well. And I know a lot of good players and I'm sure he has a list of guys he wants to get. So people say, oh my gosh, we're going to lose Ramsey. Look at how well he did. Who are you going to get to replace him? It could be someone that's far better, who fits Emery's system far better, because Emery knows what he wants.
That's right.
So Emery's saying, okay, I've assessed everybody here. Now, sorry, Ramsey, I can't justify giving you a
So
new
what we're
contract.
alluding to is that, you know, there should be no sentiment when it comes to this. It should be a case of, okay, 200 grand a week. He's 27 years. I mean, 27 is not too old. I still think he's got 5 years.
That's prime.
I think, but they've made a decision that actually we could spread that. It feels like they've made a decision that we can spread that £200,000 across the squad and maybe bring in maybe go after 2 players who are, say, between 20 years old and 23 years old, 24 years old, that you bring in for 90 grand each a week, and you bolster the squad. Do you think it's more of a purely business, not want to say business, but a footballing decision, as opposed to Ramsey not being good enough?
100%. And I think, well, in fact, it's probably a bit of both, because we had Wenger, who brought this guy in under this whole guise of, we're going to get this British template of football player with Carl Jenkinson and Jack Wilshere. But Emery's coming with a fresh pair of eyes and said, actually, nah, you're not worth 200 grand a week. I rate this guy over what Wenger was saying, over what everyone else is saying, because he has a clear template, he has a clear style, a clear identity. And if Ramsey doesn't fit it, then all right, sorry, mate, you've done the club a service. But
I understand that,
but because I think I look at Dortmund and I think there's this guy, I think it's Hakimi, or something. Yeah. See, that's the kind of player that I think Emery is probably want to get. Where like this guy who can play it really quick, play the ball fast, and is technically good on a consistent basis. I think there are guys out there who are young, who Emery is looking at and says, no, I think they can fit what I'm trying to build here far better than I think what
another thing
Ramsey
that stands
can do.
out to me with Ramsey, and again, the talk of him going to Man United, he's one of those players that I sort of think, I watch him one week and think, oh, I'd love that in my team, and then another week I'm like, I'm not too sure. But what stands out to me is that, okay, we know in was it 2010 that his leg broke? It was a 2010.
Shawcross.
The point is, okay, between 09 and 2011, I don't really care about the amount of appearances he made because he was recovering. But since 2011, he's only had 3 seasons where he's completed more than 30 Premier League games. 34, 36, and then 23, 29, 31. Last 2 years, prior to this one, he's played in all 10 league games this year, to be fair. But prior 2 seasons, 23 and 24 league games only. That says to me there's also, I know he's had a bad leg break, but that gives me a tendency to think that, especially now he's getting older, he's missing now consistently over nearly a third of league games. That's a lot of games to miss. If you're going to pay someone £200,000 a week, so I think that this is the same issue that maybe Emery had with Jack Wilshere, why England have an issue with Wilshere, and why no major club came in for him. It isn't the technical ability. It's the fact that can we guarantee that you're going to be fit for 85, 90% of games? Aaron Ramsey's record says, it factually says no, you don't. I mean, he's only played 40 games in a season for Arsenal 4 times in 10 years.
Okay, so then...
And you've got to remember, the elite teams are aiming for 55, 60 games.
Look at Xavi and Iniesta. How many games did they play in a season? Messi as well. And remember, in the business end of the season, those games come thick and fast.
Okay, so let me ask then. So if, let's say, Ramsey was fully fit, didn't have any injury worries, do you think that Emery fight to give him a new contract?
I
Or do you
think
still think that it's still
I
a
think he
footballing
fights to
decision?
give him a new contract. A, because of the legacy and the history he has at the club. B, because Ramsey isn't a bad player. He's just not elite.
Yeah.
But I think he probably gives him a different
We-
part
just-
in the squad.
Just to say, we're going to touch on it. Keep running. Don't end the capture, Javan. Just want to let you know the draws happen for the quarterfinals. It is Arsenal at home against Tottenham,
Come on.
and that is literally and
Come on.
instantly when the
Come on.
when this the competition becomes very
Let's
serious.
go.
But
Let's go.
Let's keep talking Aaron Ramsey.
So that's quarters.
That's the quarters. Yeah.
Let's go.
We've got any calls for this Aaron Ramsey situation? We got any calls ready, Javan? Let's get the calls on. We'll ask them about Aaron Ramsey.
Wow.
Oi, I'm ready.
North
Let's.
London derby.
Oi, we can slap.
I'm still saying Europa League final, North London derby.
Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Oh, mate, it's Andy. How you doing, lads? You all right?
Yeah.
Very good, Andy.
Cool.
Look, we're talking about Aaron Ramsey, the fact that he has been categorically told that he will not have his contract renewed in any way, shape or form at Arsenal. How do you feel about that as an Arsenal fan and the football fan yourself?
Well, to be fair, when the news first broke out, wasn't that surprised, to be fair with you guys. To be fair, honestly, wasn't surprised at all.
Why?
Because, again, how you lot have been discussing about his consistency, those memories that he has, that he's instilled with us, with that season where he was banging out goals left, right and centre was amazing. Obviously, FA Cup was amazing. But I think it's time, everyone has their time where they just need to part ways. I don't think I think I speak for maybe just about majority of the fan base. He's not going to be as missed, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Wilshere hit home a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm here in November, and I'm like, am I really thinking about him? No, not really.
But when you say that, though, I mean, okay, let's maybe take his footballing away for a minute. 10 years service to your football club.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he will. I'm sure he does at the end of this season. If he doesn't leave, he qualifies for a testimonial. Where do you rank him? I mean, this has been probably the worst 10 years in the history. Well, not in the history of your club. I don't know Arsenal's history that well, but in my lifetime, I'm 32 years old, nearly 33.
Premier League,
it's the worst in 30 years I think you guys have been. But how do you feel about Aaron Ramsey leaving, though? Like, as a man, for what he's done for your club, his goals in FA Cup finals, he's been, for me, one of your best players in this horrible time. Without him over this last 10 years, I think things could have been even worse. So, I mean, but is there nothing about it that bothered you at all?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, don't get me wrong. I respect that guy. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I can't say the same for Cesc and Nasri and RVP and all them, man. But when it comes to Ramsey, I take my hat off to him. Thank you for your service. But it's time. Do you know what I mean? And as you guys have been saying,
it's time to go.
Where does he fit in the top six? I don't know. I don't know where he's going to go. The only place I can think which will give him a morale boost, and he'll probably play six for a couple of games in Liverpool. But again, I don't know. I don't know where he's going to end up. And to be fair with you, I don't think he's going to end up at a top 6 team. If he does, he's going to be on the bench.
Yeah, I hear that.
There we go, mate. Listen, really appreciate that call. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I mean, so we'll ask you on this. Where do you honestly think where could he fit in the Premier League? Let's not think top 6 for a minute. Is he going to get 200 grand anywhere else in the Premier League? And where would he get regular first team football for you?
The only possibility, I think, is Tottenham. Because remember, this is a team who have not really brought in anyone new. And I look at the midfield of, okay, you've got Sissoko, you've got Wanyama, you've got Winks, you've got Eriksen. I still think that maybe he could get, because you say regular first team football, I don't know whether it would be regular, but beyond the top 6, man. I mean, listen, like,
could he play for Man United? I know we're 8th right now, but we are top. We know who we talk about when we talk top 6. Could he get in that Man United team right now? In a I think Man United are playing it's more 4-3-3. So could he be a central? Would he improve Man United's central midfield?
You see, what United need, they need a central midfielder who sits and can control the game and can then free up Pogba to move freely and Matic to do the damn work. Ramsey is a roamer. So I think if Ramsey goes in there, he'll fit in, but it's still not addressing what United need. So they could use him, but Ramsey isn't the guy who will sit.
Man United need a Verratti type player. In
There you go.
my opinion,
Somebody who can
I
control
get
the
that,
game.
Yeah,
like a
So-
metronome. But I would say he does fit Manchester United in terms of they can pay his wages. I think
Does it fit in the team?
does he fit in the team? Probably not, Terry.
Comments here, people saying teams like Everton and West Ham.
I was saying
There we
Everton
go.
because
There
they
we
can
go.
probably afford to pay his wages, and that is realistically his level. That is it.
In terms of Europe, what about a team like a Monaco or a Paris Saint-Germain?
But
Oh no, no way. PSG.
PSG?
No, PSG, no way. He's not sniffing the squad
Terry,
even.
let's
No way.
let's
Okay,
not- let's not
I'm
do
throwing
that,
it out
man.
there. I never claim to be the encyclopedia of football.
Is-
I
is-
don't
is-
know
is-
that much about that level.
Yeah,
You know what? People will say Bayern Munich. That team is aging. That is an aging team. Javi Martinez is getting.
But
on
they don't
Tevez
pay
is
that.
picking up
They
on
don't pay that kind of salary.
They don't.
potential.
They-
Okay,
they-
problem.
What is that noise? I can hear a noise.
Nah, it's just not.
Yeah, it was like a frog. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, you're right. They don't pay that kind of salary, and really, is he dislodging? What I know, James Rodriguez is set to leave or something. But either way, Thiago,
Javi Martinez, yeah.
these are highly technical players that dominate their league year after year after year. If he wants first team football,
But Dortmund-
Bayern Munich is not.
No.
That's a level for him.
Dortmund.
That's
That's
a level for
the
him.
way that team is playing. I don't know whether he just walks into that team straight.
That is his. But you have to consider his wages as well.
Yeah,
he wants
his wages.
200 grand.
I think he could do well in Italy.
He could, but then you also have to consider: is he moving? There was talks of Jack Wilshere meant to be going to Fiorentina. He was never going to go there. Jack Wilshere in flipping Fiorentina.
I think
on,
it
man.
really depends on an individual in terms of their the type of person they are. Like I always thought Wayne Rooney could go abroad, but I only ever believed he'd go America.
Exactly.
I didn't believe he'd want to be in okay, America actually is quite warm. But I didn't think I couldn't see him going to somewhere where the main dish was paella or pasta.
Yeah,
like
nah,
and I
of course
sound
not.
and I sound he
Of
just
course.
because I just think like some people like I don't know Aaron Ramsey, but he seems to be like a home bird
Yes.
to me.
But
Yeah.
but see,
But maybe not. I don't know him well enough.
But no, that's something that
I'm a home bird. I like on holiday, but I couldn't imagine living anywhere but like my hometown. You know,
But see, that's the
apart
issue.
from America or Canada,
It's like footballers have to change that viewpoint because again, which is why I applaud what McManaman did and everything. So it's like you have to make them move. You know what? I'm going to go to Italy. I'm going to go to France and actually learn the language, learn the football, and then like what's it called? The only reason why Paul Ince left Inter Milan was because his family was like homesick. He said that was one of the best ever decisions that he ever made, going to Inter Milan. And the fans still love him.
And you know
when he went
what?
there.
I was actually going to say Inter Milan, probably, maybe even AC is a team for Ramsey. And Inter Milan have got money now. They could probably pay his wages.
Yeah, it's whether or not, as you say, it's whether or not it's what he wants to earn, isn't it? But that always becomes a conundrum, doesn't it? What I would like to think Aaron Ramsey would do before we end this is, we know he's not staying at Arsenal. I'd like him to pick a team where he's going to play regularly and be able to impact the team. And I would like to think that he would do that and go, okay, well, they're only going to pay me 125,000, as opposed to going to a team where he might be benched a lot, or maybe maybe Man United that doesn't really fit or need him just to get the money. Because what I wouldn't want to see him do is end up in like an Alexis Sanchez type of situation where actually right now his future looks so unclear because he's not getting in the team over Anthony Martial right now. Rashford looks like he's set to replace Lukaku. Ramsey doesn't want to come in, play for 6 months, and then for the next couple of years sit on the bench while Fred, Pereira, and Pogba run the show. So it's a real difficult one. But
I want to know if Arsenal and Arsene Wenger have done him dirty. Have we ruined a potential world class talent?
Who Ramsey?
Yeah.
I think. Listen, do you know
I mean,
what?
I don't.
great one.
Again, you never know what can happen. But I just think from viewing him, I don't think his ceiling was world class.
Really?
No.
Do you know what's interesting
Like
about
very
that?
good player was no. This guy's a very good player to have in your team. Not like this guy's an elite guy.
I
don't
have
think so.
recently, like we've been doing a lot of talk about the players at Man United that have been up and been down, and I agree with what Mr. Mourinho said at the weekend, that when players do badly, it's 50-50. When they do really, really well, it's 50-50, and I get that. I think that Aaron Ramsey remained loyal to Arsenal, but I think most people could see that Wenger was taking the team and the club backwards steadily. I don't think there were lots of top class players or young players that came in that never went on to fulfill their potential. and whether you talk about Kieran Gibbs, whether you speak about Oxlade-Chamberlain
Yeah.
at Arsenal is a really good
He's
example.
now shining at Liverpool.
Yeah, shining it with a different manager. I think maybe Ramsey has stayed 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years too long. When Arsenal were, and most Arsenal fans would agree, we saw the banners, we saw the protests, we saw the videos on Arsenal Fan TV. They wanted the man gone. So I think you may be getting onto a point here that maybe he as a man was too loyal, and maybe the interesting bit you mentioned Spurs. If he feels that he deserves that money, if he feels that he is stuck with Arsenal through really bad times, turned down moves to bigger clubs when he was still young enough and fresh enough to develop, he might now feel like, do you know what? Screw you. Yeah. I'm going to go down. I'm going to do the reverse of Sol Campbell. Not that it's quite the same because Sol Campbell was an academy product at Spurs, but I'm going to do the reverse of Sol Campbell, leave on a free, join your biggest rivals. And the worst thing would be for him to just have the best 3 or 4 years. Like if he went to Spurs and was top class for 3 or 4 years, that drive was there. Pochettino developed him.
It's a bit of a sticky one still. I'm not going to.
What it would do, I mean, the North London derby is always heated, but it's already a massive fire, and you just thrown like a whole sort of a barrel load of petrol on it there as well.
I think Ramsey, if that offer does come, he'll be like, you know what? Why should I not go to Tottenham based on what loyalty? Because again, I felt that they're not giving me a lot. So if Tottenham say we want you, why should he say no?
I've had this conversation so many times with people. I used to be. I do believe in loyalty, and I think loyalty is a very commendable thing. I can't talk about what company it is. But this week, right, as an organisation that I know, and a number of my friends work there. And they all left major organisations to go and work there. So people left their companies after 10, 15, 20 years to go work for this fairly new business.
Where do your friends work?
I'm not allowed to.
Try to catch you.
I can't name the company.
Yeah, that's
they all went, right, and they all joined this organisation. Some of them have been there a year, some 18 months, some only 5 or 6 months. That company, so they've come in, they've worked. For the time that they've shown dedication and they've showed loyalty and they're working really, really hard. So they're all there. What's now happening is the company decided to have a change of direction. And that change of direction means 2 or 3 business areas being shut down. They've all been given 3 months notice, like 3 months pay, but they've all been made redundant. So they're all now left unemployed, all redundant. Yes, they've got 3 months salary coming in, but 3 months, you might not find a new job. Yeah. You sit there and think, I know, the reason there's a lot of anger around that company is that one guy joined, stayed there 9 months, and then got offered a job elsewhere, a competitor, and left. And the owners of the business were angry and they were screaming there was no loyalty, no loyalty, no loyalty. Now, all these guys and these women that have lost their jobs this week are sitting there and going, hang on, you banged on and moaned when Joe Bloggs left and you moaned there was no loyalty. But now that you've had a change of heart and you don't want to have this area of business anymore, you're just literally making all of us redundant. And football clubs are the same. Fans will scream loyalty, loyalty, loyalty at players. But when the club decides we don't want you anymore as a player, it's like, well, that's a footballing decision. Boom, you're gone. And so, but when a player thinks, you know what, I've gone as far as I want to go with your football club, fans boo and hiss them, and again, there's a right and a wrong way of going about it. Yeah, which is massive. If you listen to, go on YouTube and listen to Robbie Savage talk about how he got himself out of Birmingham and to Blackburn, what he was doing in training, how he was behaving. I mean, he actually says now, like with hindsight, it was so wrong, but he said he was desperate for the big money move to play with Mark Hughes again, etc., etc. So I think that loyalty is an interesting one. We all want loyalty when it favours us, but we're very quick and we're very easy to turn our back on loyal behaviour when it suits our purpose.
I do hear that, but I think Aaron Ramsey should really look at this and think there should be no hard feelings because he has become synonymous with a time that was horrible for the club. Arsene Wenger being there, barren years, 3 FA Cups, which isn't where we want Arsenal to be. Emery's come in, moved the club in a new direction, and I suppose this is us looking towards a new frontier, a new direction.
And I totally understand that, and I think it will boil down to one major thing: how they handled it. And none of us know that. Okay, we can read what's in the papers. None of us are privy to that information. Although I do know the player liaison officer very well at Arsenal Football Club, so I will try and drop a call to find out. He tends to deal with the fallout of these situations. But if they've handled it badly in terms of if they offered him the deal when he signed it, and then they've pulled the rug from under his feet, and if they haven't offered him a good enough explanation, if they're giving him reasons that he doesn't agree with, as an example, in terms, none of us know. I'm just throwing it out there. If they've handled it badly, he could leave with a bitter feeling and joy. If he leaves going, thank you, they're still going to give him a testimonial to raise money for the charity of his choice. They're going to let him leave as a bit of a hero. Then I don't think he'll join Spurs for love nor money, because then it's too just. You're not going to get a testimonial at Arsenal if you're now officially a Spurs player. And if he was 35 and he joined Spurs, there might be a little bit of, okay, you're not going to be an impact player, but at 27 he could do it. Javerne, thank you very much for capturing that, my man. Thank you. We're going to move the subject on again. So can you capture this one? Okay, we're going to talk.
Second,
we want some calls. 0203 606 0315. We are now going to preview. Oh, Javerne, man, this guy. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. What is your name?
Just Safe. Hi, Safe. How are you?
Sweet. That's why I put it through.
Hello, Safe. What was that? Rubber knot? Is that you putting on latex gloves?
No.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. What did you want to say, Safe?
Well, can I just make a suggestion? When can I come into FanPark, please?
I told you to message me on. By the way, don't try and connect with me on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is for my.
Well, you blocked me.
I know I did.
Yes.
You can talk to me on my normal social media, but not. I use that for purely business.
Twitter, you blocked me with. I can't talk to you on Twitter.
Yeah, because you started sending me pictures of like naked bodybuilding women. That's why I blocked you.
Okay. So
Did you?
how can I come in?
Did you?
I just want to just comment to this bloody show.
He wasn't coming to the show. Listen, so you can't send me pictures of naked women. You can't try and talk to me in my world of my life and business, because you are weird and I can't have that.
If you come on the show, you can't be doing that, Safe, man.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay, man. Yeah.
That wasn't convincing enough, bro. I went, oh yeah, okay. All right.
And
Safe, man. You have to stay safe. You have to stay a lot safer, man.
You're not gonna bring in. You're not. I'm scared to have you in the studio, though. Safe, if I'm being honest.
Why are you scared from me, man? I'm 31 years old, mate.
You're 31 years. That doesn't mean you can't murder me, bruv.
No, man. I mean, you have Adam, you have other people to protect you. You have
Hey,
Jerome.
bruv, what do you mean?
Actually, Adam's no protection. We got broken into here when we were live once, and Adam saw the burglar and he hid under a desk. But hang on, let me go back and rewind this. You just said I shouldn't be fearful because there's people here to protect me. Does that mean if there was nobody here to protect me, you would try to kill me?
Damn, Daniel.
No.
Are you sure?
Bruv, this guy's... Oh, listen.
I honestly think that you want to kill me, you want to cook me and eat me.
And drink his blood.
No, Terry, no. I mean, you're one of the best YouTubers on air, and now, and not only that, but I just watch your on a YouTube channel, so that's why I love to come in.
Oh, that's nice, man.
That is beautiful. That's quite
I'd
beautiful.
say.
Okay, well, what I'll do, I will...
Touching.
Javerne will give you his mobile number. You can speak to our producer.
Let me read you Terry's number.
No, don't put my number on the internet, bro. Stop it.
Hey.
Listen, I don't mind you. Honestly, if you get weird, if you try and touch me, if you try and corner me in the bathroom, if you come out with any... Listen, brother, if you come out of any janky shit whatsoever, I swear to God, as God is my witness on camera, I will drop you.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
no, because you are weird, bruv. You send me the weirdest stuff. You have had about 7 different Twitter accounts, and I block all of them because you send me weird. You send me like weird selfies of yourself. You send me pictures of naked women. He sent me a picture of a naked woman, and he said, and I quote, it was like, Terry, can you get me on the show? And what I'm gonna do on the show is I want you to get her on, so me and her can have a naked wrestle together. Why do I want to see your bare ass and balls on camera, blood?
No, man.
You know.
Okay, can we talk about Arsenal then?
No, we can't. Listen.
Why not? Let him talk about Arsenal.
No. Listen.
Go on, quickly,
I can't
what's
tell about
this?
Arsenal. How good were Arsenal
Yeah, Safe,
tonight?
have to
Safe.
say, man.
Go on, Safe.
Well, I watched the Chelsea game, but I want to ask a question to Adam.
Yeah, go on.
Do you think that anyway, in the next couple of years, you could be Premier League champions?
Premier League
Could you win the
champions.
Premier League?
In a couple of years.
It will be very difficult. I think it's unlikely. I don't think we'll be Premier League champions. I think we'll be Premier League challengers. But because I think City are going to keep on getting better. Guardiola signed a 5-year contract only last season. So I think they're going to keep on progressing until he gets bored and decides that he can't do this anymore. Liverpool, similarly, until Klopp leaves. And I think Arsenal are way away from Liverpool and Manchester City. So I don't think we'll win it, but I think we'll be challengers.
How about the style of football?
I think it's good, but we need to give Czech a break, man. The guy's old. The guy just needs to sit down and drink a cuppa. Take off his hat and let that be that. He shouldn't be playing out from the back.
Well, winning the league is not about style of football. It's about tactics.
Okay.
That's fact.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Safe.
Yep. Take my number from Giron, and we could meet up
Who
on
from
Monday.
who? What? J-Ron.
Giron, yes.
Yeah, J-Ron.
Giron, okay.
J-Ron. His name's J-Ron.
So
Where
he
do
actually
you
wants to meet you.
where
in
do you live?
person.
Where do you live, Safe?
I told you I live near Neasden, so
Near
I know
Neasden.
where you guys are based. You're based in Wembley.
Oh.
Yeah, we are based near Wembley.
Yeah.
How will you get here? Do you drive a car?
Yes, I do. I'll park my car next to you one.
You don't know what my car looks like.
Yes, the silver BMW, I think. When I watched the YouTube video.
There's never been a YouTube video that's shown my car from the outside. How would you know the colour of it?
It does. There was once you was walking in a park and talking about the football terrace. I think it was some point last year.
Adam, come back. I'm scared. I need you to protect me, my brother. So, Safe, how did you get a driving licence? Are you allowed to drive?
Yes, I am. I passed it. I passed it in 2010.
In 20... Okay. And do you live alone? Do you live with your wife? Have you got a
I live
girlfriend?
with family.
Have you got a girlfriend, blood?
Well, I'm looking for 16, maybe, hopefully.
What?
You looking for... You're looking for what?
Well, at least 16 girlfriends.
Oh, 16 girlfriends.
Oh, God. I thought you said you were looking for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, I thought the guy incriminated
No,
himself.
16 girlfriends.
Slightly.
So you... I've seen a picture of you. How tall are you?
Well, I'm about 168 centimeters, which is 5'8". I
Okay,
think,
you're 5'8".
5'7".
Oh. How much do you weigh?
55 kilos.
How much is that in stone?
Well,
That's
Ten-
lights, man.
11 stone.
11 stone.
Fam,
So you're
I weighed that when I was 12.
So you're 11 stone. I think even that's a bit much. So say you're 11 stone, you're 5'8". You really think you're the man to handle 16 girls at once? You really think you can handle them 16 girl things? Can you do that, bruv?
Yes, why not?
Bruv, because I think a man as slim as you, I think even when you touch a girl, you might give her a paper cut. So being able to handle that amount of girls will be tough, you know. How about you?
No,
So,
man.
have you got any girlfriends?
Me, no, but I'm looking for one.
I think if you stop, I think if you stop stalking men online,
I
you'll
don't
have a
stalk, man. I don't
you stalk me, and I think you'll have a much better chance of finding a girlfriend if you stop stalking me and sending me pictures.
If I stalk you, you will be on the internet, mate.
What? What?
Oh, I don't know
You
what's
be on
going
the
on.
internet,
I think that's it.
I'm
Rest
sorry.
now.
I'm sorry.
about
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm
Bye,
sorry.
bruv.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's weird, man. That guy
And we
is-
captured that.
Did you capture that, Javern?
Oh,
Oh, good, because that's
Lord.
evidence. I'm sending that to the Metropolitan Police, bud.
That is
Straight
messed
up.
up, man.
Straight up. Let me know when
up.
you're ready to capture Javern. J-Ron.
J-Rock.
Jaron.
Jeroen.
Sorry. Cool. So, big game this weekend.
Huge game.
Arsenal Football Club
Oh, is it that?
versus Liverpool. Liverpool, many Liverpool fans you speak to believe they are genuine title contenders with City. They're on par with City, the joint top of the league. So far, so good for them. Arsenal, resurgent, on the way up. Is it 12 wins, 11 wins in the last 12 games?
11 wins last 12.
12,
Unbeaten in
12 games, but
yeah.
there's been a lot of challenge and scrutiny to that in terms of people keep saying Arsenal have played nobody of any real substance to say whether there's been a huge improvement yet. I think Liverpool going away to the big teams. That's the only way you're going to win the Premier League is if your record home and away against the top six is as good as what Liverpool have been against the Leicester team. So they know that this is, for me, it's a real chance for them to really mark down their title credentials, and it's a massive opportunity for Arsenal to say we are getting back to our very, very best.
Yes.
I will come to you first, Adam. I know you've done a full preview that comes out on our channel, The Football Terrace, tomorrow morning, but give us now your views in terms of how do you think that game's going to go?
I think the call out, what they said was 100% right. The first half is key. I think we've looked very sloppy and slow to start in the games that we've played. And if we allow Liverpool in, we're asking for trouble. We are asking for trouble. I'm concerned at who's going to play left back. I don't know if it's going to be Jenkinson. I don't know if it's going to be Lichtsteiner. I would hope it's the latter because I believe he's better equipped to deal with what Mo Salah will bring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we also have strengths where we can test Liverpool.
Yep.
I think Torreira will be able to pick up the positions that Firmino, where he drops deep. I think he'll be good at nullifying that threat. I think Aubameyang and Lacazette, maybe they'll both start. Maybe one of them will start out wide. I think we have what it takes to trouble them there. So I think really it is going to boil down to that first half and who takes their chances and whether we can actually start straight from the first whistle or whether we come out chasing the game in the second half. Because if we do, it's going to be long for us. I can guarantee you that.
I have hope from your point of view. No dog in this fight as such. I suppose for Chelsea right now, a draw in that game would be the best result for you. How do you see it going in terms of where Arsenal are right now and where Liverpool are? Who are the favourites for you in this game?
I mean, from 100% on, Liverpool are the favourites, and I think that the weird thing is, if Arsenal, the way that they've been playing and defending, faced Liverpool last season, it will be lights out. Liverpool's strength has been their defence, not really their attack, but still their attack is still going to be tricky. For Liverpool, you could say maybe the toughest team they faced was Man City, but Man City don't kind of have the weaponry that Arsenal have. Now, if you go with a Lacazette, because I always say that it starts with Lacazette and Aubameyang. It doesn't matter how you have to change things around. It starts with both of them. You start with both of them. That's going to be a problem for Liverpool. So I just think that it'll be interesting to see how good this... Because again, Van Dijk has played really well. Gomez has been amazing. How well do they deal with the speed and the goal-scoring prowess of those two? Because Man City are a different kind of team and they're different beasts. But this, you're not dealing with speed and goal-scoring ability. So... I still think that for Liverpool, I just feel like the first half is going to be key. If Liverpool if they go in the lead and they go into the lead in halftime, it's going to be a win. If it's 0-0 at halftime and Arsenal now really get back into the game in the second half, I think, maybe it could be like a 1-1, 2-2 draw. So that first half is going to be key for how, if Liverpool put them away earlier on, or if Arsenal can hold them and then come into the game in the second half. So
yeah, look, I think this is a real acid test for Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think that... I have seen improvements in this side, absolutely no doubt about it. And I think people keep talking about how this 11, unbeaten in 12, 11 of them have been victories, how that, I get, Everton at home as an example. It could have been 2 or 3-0 down in that game. There've been a number of the performances where they've won the game, but when on paper, they've looked like they've dominated by the scoreline maybe. But actually, when you watch the game in reality, it could have gone a very different way. But equally, I've watched some of Liverpool's games, and we watched the Crystal Palace game here together, and they got a fairly fortuitous penalty, and I think they scored a late winner. But Crystal Palace were breaking into that box, and it was inches with in difference. And so I think Arsenal, this could be the game that really kickstarts their rejuvenation process. And I mean, in terms of giving them that actual belief of, wow, we have just come and one of the title favourites have come to the Emirates and we have beaten them. Will they do it? If they do it, will they do it with ease? Absolutely not, because Liverpool are going to create at least 3 or 4 clear-cut opportunities in that game. Leno is going to have to be absolutely on it between the sticks. Defensively, the likes of... You just cannot afford any mistakes from the likes of Mustafi. That simply cannot happen in this game. Aubameyang and Lacazette, 2 of the best strikers in the world. No doubt they will cause problems. But where I think it's going to be an amazing battle, I'm so looking forward to seeing for the first time this year, because he didn't start against City and Chelsea in the early part of the season. I'm looking forward to seeing Torreira up against an absolute quality midfield that Liverpool have. And again, that's not... However Torreira does in this game, is for me is not going to be how I judge him as a Premier League player. I will do that in 2 or 3 years' time when he's had enough time to settle and grow and of course further develop himself. Not everybody does an N'Golo Kante where they come in and they're just the best midfielder in the league from day one at their position. So I think Arsenal have got all of that going on, but I actually feel Liverpool will feel more pressure. I think Liverpool are.
They're expected to win.
I think Liverpool are expected to go into this game and win. I think Liverpool are expected to go in and entertain. I think Liverpool are expected, they've got players in their team that their own fans rate at being 100 to 200 million pound players. And most people wouldn't say that Arsenal have that. No. They nearly won the Champions League last year. They're joint top with, they're neck and neck with Man City as it stands. So for me, the onus is on Liverpool. I don't care that it's at the Emirates. The onus is on Liverpool that want to be. Arsenal right now, they're not vying to become Premier League champions.
But that's why it's important to manage expectations, because I know you said a lot of Arsenal fans have been gassing and blah blah blah, but it's very important to understand that sensible Arsenal fans have been trying to say, please don't read too much into this.
Yes.
Like, we haven't played a big team yet. So even if we do lose, like, for me, it's like, okay, we still know where we are. We still know there's a lot of work to do.
And even if you win, there will still be areas go, okay, that was a great win, but this area, this position, this part of our game, because no team is 100%.
Nah.
Even City right now, there are still, you can always, if you look and you're honest, there's always flaws. But I think it's going to be a really good acid test to see where the major problems may lie. An individual mistake, if it's Mustafi, it's Mustafi. As an example,
which it probably will be,
because he does that on such a regular basis under both managers, both. I think he's done it his whole career. So it's a case of, okay, that's just what the man does. But as I say, I think all the pressure is on Liverpool. I think they know that they need to come down and leave with a solid performance defensively and offensively, and a draw as an absolute minimum. Yeah, a draw as an absolute minimum is the only thing that they can say is a good result.
Away from home.
But I think away from home, but they've got, because if you look at that week, I'm not even sure who they've got, but who have City got? It feels like City just have easy games every week. City have...
They make it look easy.
It does, yeah, exactly. They don't actually. They actually play very well. City are at home to Southampton that same weekend. So again, it's a 3 or 4-0. Although I think the game after that for City is the Manchester derby.
4-0.
Yeah, it could be. But it's an interest. So for me, it's an important one for Liverpool not to lose a 3-point gap over City. City are likely to beat Manchester United, and it's honestly, once you give City an inch, they take a mile when it comes to running away with the league title. So it's really important for Liverpool. If I'm going to put a prediction on it, I am going to go with an Arsenal win. I just get a sense, and I don't think I'm going to go with like a 2-1 Arsenal win for this game. And I know it's going to trigger Liverpool fans.
If we beat Liverpool, you will not be able to shut me up.
Do you know the only thing I really hope for in the game, though? I'm just hoping that Mo Salah doesn't score.
I'm hoping that Virgil van Dijk makes a mistake. You won't be able to shut me up.
No, that would be hilarious, especially with how much Liverpool fans.
You won't be able to shut me up. But I know if Liverpool win, then they'll just be getting on to it.
And look, if Liverpool win and Salah bangs in a hat trick, we're going to take a big L.
Yeah. L for Liverpool.
No, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I will be at 5:30. 2-2. And how about yourself, Adam? Like, hand on heart, how do you honestly think the game's going to go? Not what you want. What you want to happen is to win 5-0. But what do you think will happen?
I think it'll be a 2-2 draw.
2-2.
There we go. We got any call? Let's get a call on to finish this capture, please. J-Ron. Hello, welcome to FanPark Live. It's you again. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, what's your name?
Peace.
Peace or Peas?
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace. Yeah.
Sweet, it's a good name. Who do you support?
Arsenal.
Right, we're talking Arsenal-Liverpool this coming Saturday. Tell us how and who is going to win.
To be honest, I think Arsenal might just have it.
And how are they going to do that against this great Liverpool side?
I think our defence, it's not the greatest, but we have to be on job to sort Liverpool's attack out.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely need to be on point. You definitely need to nullify that attack. But how are you going to do it? Being on point is the overarching theme, but how is that going to be done? How has Emre got to structure his team and set them out to play to get the better of this Liverpool side?
I think they need to be organised, and like our attackers are Aubameyang and Lacazette, they can cause problems. So like it's just like the balance between the defence and attack. I think he needs to get the tactics and the players right.
Well, if he gets the tactics and the players wrong, you are likely to lose. Absolutely. What's your score prediction piece?
I'm going 3-2.
3-2 to Arsenal.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you very much for your call, mate. Cheers. Thank you. And I agree with your score result. If you score one more goal than Liverpool, you will win.
Oh, that's great insight, Jerry. Well done.
I think loads of people commenting saying, great analyst. Sorry, he's got. Well, look, we know he's got to get his. It's an interesting one. There's something I was going to say, and it's just gone out of my head after reading.
What worries me is that Arsenal defense, because you make one slip up, Liverpool will. You haven't stopped capturing, have you? Oh, cool.
What I would say, what I think Arsenal need to do is, of course, they need to be organised, pick the right players, and deliver the tactics. But I think they need to be unafraid of letting Liverpool have the ball. I still stand by my belief that if you invite Liverpool to attack, but you remain rigid in defence, with Arsenal's pace on the counter, they could.
But Emery doesn't play like. I mean, does Emery allow the team to have the ball and sits back? I don't think so. I think he always wants to play on the front foot and really try and really.
I just think
play with speed.
I think Liverpool have been so hard to break down this year.
They're very good defensively.
So it's a case of you. I don't think Arsenal have got enough being the aggressor to open them up. You know, the goals they scored against Leicester at home a couple of weeks ago. You're not doing that to Liverpool. You're not going to get time and space. I think what they need to try and do is almost coax Liverpool into coming out and being the aggressor, trying to have more of the ball, trying to attack in numbers, and then being the team that pounces and counterattacks.
But you know what I always say is that it depends what they do. Because for me, I think that the Gomez-Van Dijk partnership works great. Lovren has a mistake in it.
Yeah.
Like,
but then he's good in big games. Like, I've always said that in a big game, I would be happy to put Lovren in there. Look at that World Cup final. Look at the World Cup run in general. He was a solid guy.
But I think for Croatia, he's great. For Liverpool,
yeah.
And I think in a game like this, like Lovren in central defense, I think that is where Arsenal should pinpoint that. You know what?
Yeah.
Get crosses into the box and trying to get a body on Lovren to try and force him into mistakes. Because Van Dijk doesn't really make that many mistakes. Lovren does. And I think you make a mistake.
Wow.
Lacazette, Aubameyang, boom. Can just hit it. So, but again, Salah, Mane, if Mustafi now does Mustafi.
Oh, don't, man.
So
there we go. Javerne, thank you very much for capturing that, my man.
Appreciate it.
What we're going to do very quickly, I'm just going to talk to you about our title sponsors, who are Football Flash.
Flash.
Don't do that again, brothers. We'll sack you.
Nah, you can't sack me.
I can.
I'm Crazy T.
What?
What?
I have the power. It's up on the screen now. Jay Vern's going to put it on, hopefully. Download Football Flash. It's in the description below. It's one-stop shop for your football news. I've shown you before how to add a team. You just press that little pink button in the top right-hand corner. But let's click on the old Gooners right now. There's all the stories that are coming in from, as you can see, the BBC, The Guardian, Arsenal.com. Interestingly, I keep checking Liverpool's every day to see if they have any articles on it from The Sun. They never take anything in from The Sun. So if you're a Liverpool fan and you're worried about getting news from The Sun, don't worry, this app doesn't do it to you. In fact, that I don't actually The Sun being dragged in for any news stories on this app. So maybe there is a conscious decision, which I'm not going to agree or disagree with. I'm just going to say, there you go. That's how it is. So if you hate, a lot of people hate The Sun. If you hate The Sun, remember, they don't put stories on that app. So download Football Flash. It's free and it really supports us here on the old FanPark Live. I need to say Football Terrace. It's not. It's FanPark Live. It is. Although you can watch it on the Football Terrace. There we go. That is my channel. If you want to go over to it and subscribe, please do. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on. As always, until next time. Saturday, we will be back. We're covering Manchester United's game against Bournemouth. Arsenal versus Liverpool. And I know Spurs are playing at 7:30 on Saturday, but who's that against?
No one cares, man.
Wolves. Oh, actually, Wolves at home against Spurs. I'm interested in watching my mate Nuno play, team go out there and play. So 3 games for you this forthcoming Saturday. So make sure you're tuning in to FanPark Live. I'll be here. Adam's going to be here.
Yeah.
Chris Kane's going to be here. We're only covering 2.
Good.
Oh, we're not doing Wolves Spurs. I'll be going home to watch that. Bing, bing, bosh, bosh. Good night. God bless. Take care. Smash that like button. See you later.
Get all your football news as it breaks with Football Flash.